Is there anything you want to say about Castlevania?
Yeah.
You haven't said much. Do you like it?
Do I love it?
It's
worth
really good.
$15. Well, I don't know if it's worth $15.
Shut the fuck up! He's joking, okay?
No, I'm not.
Listen,
I'm telling you, you have to approach things not only from a gamer perspective, you have to think as a consumer as well. I mean,
Thanks, Carlos. Thank you.
so
you can't
You think
stop
it,
the-
how
leave me
many
hanging
hours
for it.
have you put into this game, stupid? How
You
many
know.
hours have you put into this game?
I don't know.
Hey,
Probably more than most games you played this
We
year.
all know that it's not about game time.
No.
More hours.
He said it's
into
about
a game.
No.
For, Brad.
Listen. He just said when it comes to like being a consumer, that sometimes price does matter, and when it comes to being a consumer, the amount of time you spend on a game does matter. And I've spent more time with this game than I have most $60 games I've played this year. So I'd say in that case, it's definitely worth $15.
Okay, so this is my second part that I have a problem with.
Man, we just lost control like crazy.
No, that was great.
I made my point succinctly.
we're all in.
So if you're gonna bring up that argument, then I've spent more time than I've been playing Castlevania in games that I paid less for.
What?
What I said. I mean, if you're gonna say, well, your game was worth the $15 you paid for it because you spent so many hours playing it. Well, there's also games that have been cheaper that have been played for
I
longer.
know, and those have been worth their price.
Yeah.
You said from a consumer perspective, we're not talking about the quality of game, which we enjoy. We're talking about, is it worth it? So,
No, I love it. I love that I spent $15 on this game. I played it. I do. Yeah. Would I?
I spent $60 on Final Fantasy 13, and I fucking hate that game. I love this game.
Would I have liked this game more if it was $10? Yeah, probably. But it's part of Summer Arcade. It's a universal pricing system. They all
Plus,
got
it's
$15.
multiplayer, so you want to kind of get it early before people stop playing it online.
Right.
But see, this is the kind of thing where you can get one friend together and still have. It's not like
Me and Corvus went
It's not
through
like-
and beat the game together.
Exactly.
We
It's a
beat
co-op game.
the Dracula the first time together just because we were like, you know what, 6 people is kind of crazy. Let's just do it ourselves.
And it's
maybe.
still fun. Like, remember, this is a co-op game, so it still has
It's
value.
the-
Still
it's the
people in
working-
game. It's not like Red Faction where you go into multiplayer and there's nobody there, so you can't have a fun time. You'll always be able to have a fun time with this game.
And at $15, it's enough to be like, hey, Nick, if you want to pick it up $15, Nolan hasn't picked it up either, or he just picked it up for $15.
Or I can play a different character.
You and Nolan could get together, and it's not that hard.
I told some friends of mine to pick it up, and they wouldn't because it was $15.
Yeah.
But that's just.
But the thing is, the fun thing about this
You
is
should find new
the
friends.
bosses, dude.
But it better exists.
Getting together
I mean,
and just trying
it's
to
silly, but it
working
exists.
together to take a boss out is fantastic. I always love that part of the game. Well, just like from MMOs and stuff. That's one of the best parts about MMOs.
Again, I would say it goes back to the fact that people assume that something is not worth $15 when they really know nothing about it.
Well, first of all, I also would say this is an argument that no one
Anything's
is ever
better
gonna
if it's
win.
cheaper.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 13
No.
would have been a lot better if it was $5.
Well,
But it wasn't. It was
I think-
$65.
Here's the thing.
It's a dumb argument.
It's the thing about change. It's about when Xbox Live first opened, it was Geometry Wars for $5,
Yeah,
everything else for $10, and now as the price is growing, people now
Like,
if
the
you
games
just
have gotten bigger. Geometry Wars, fantastic game, is like relatively simple compared to a lot of
but
stuff you see now.
I'm saying the reason we're bitching about this is because we all started from the ground floor. Now, if somebody's been paying $15 and that was the price from the very beginning, then they're not going to have
This
this
is an
I'm
argument.
saying if you want a Castlevania experience, I mean, like I've spent more time with this game than I probably did with like Portrait of Ruin, which I was looking at my time clock and it was like 15 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
I looked at my time clock for Portrait of Ruin. It took me 6
That's
hours.
because you rushed through it. Remember when
It's
you were
not.
fighting Dracula?
It's
and
not
you were
about
so pissed?
rush. It's about like the pacing
No,
of
but
the
do you
way
remember?
I play the games.
Do you remember though?
I don't sit there and
You
absorb.
called me and you were like, "Fuck this stupid fucking shit game. Dracula kills me in one hit, motherfucker, piece of shit game." And I was like, "David, that's because you played through the game in 5 hours and you didn't level up. It's an RPG. You still eventually
It's a
got him."
Metroidvania.
Well, Metroid doesn't
It's
have
not an
RPG elements.
RPG.
Castlevanias do. So it's an action RPG.
All right, we're opening doors for
Or
arguments that
children.
we're not going. No
Well,
one's going to win here.
the one argument that
So
we
yes, it's worth $15 if you have. friends
no
to
see,
play
and that's the thing.
no problem, no question.
The one
If
argument
you like
that
Castlevania.
I want to get into that is a little bit worrisome is the fact that they've announced DLC, or there's rumors that there's DLC, or that there's DLC already in the package that they just haven't unlocked yet.
This is an argument we've had many times.
Well,
before, though.
the whole point about this is that they have 2 characters and an extra stage, which I'm glad to get. I'll play through that stage. It'll be new experience that I didn't know about that we didn't have before. I don't really care about the characters so much, but it's
Wait till you see Maria.
But
Little
so how much?
lonely girl shooting
How much?
birds.
How much is this going to cost? The 2 characters plus an extra stage for what? $5?
I would say
We don't
$5.
know.
Right.
I mean, that's
It
my
can't
guess.
be. It shouldn't be over $5.
See,
I think characters gonna be like $2 each. I think the stages might be $5.
So they're gonna be sold
the
separately.
stage
You
is
don't
$5
know.
itself.
Maybe I don't.
We don't know if it's gonna be sold
The
separately.
thing is, when you compare it to $15, it's like fuck. It's just
Yeah.
like Lumines, where they released that entire game for like $10, and then they started releasing maps like each like level for like a couple bucks, and you're like, well, I love Lumines, but when you compare it to the price I paid, this is
It's
like,
not scaling correctly.
It doesn't scale correctly, but that doesn't mean if you really enjoy the game that like I will gladly pay $2 for a new character because I know that having a new character is a completely different experience.